Good evening. We are here tonight for the regular board meeting of the Fallbrook Union Elementary School District. We will be starting first with a closed session. We have no items for public comment. So we're going to adjourn into closed session and then we'll reconvene with the regular meeting. Thank you so much. It is 6:06 and we are reconvening our meeting. We have completed our time in closed session and there was no action taken. So we will move directly to our flag salute. Mrs. Lieber, would you like to give?
Yes. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would like to ask for a motion to approve the minutes of our March 14th board meeting.
So moved.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I second.
Any changes, corrections, comments? In that case, Mrs. Lopez? Your vote?
Aye.
Mr. Padella?
Aye.
Mrs. Lieber?
Aye.
Mrs. Libas?
Aye.
And I am an aye as well. Our minutes are approved. Mrs. Lopez, we are moving into the hearing session. Do we have any public comments?
We do not.
Thank you very much. And we will go directly to our reports from the board. Let's see, why don't we start with Mrs. Lopez?
So this has been a little busier month than last. I was able to attend several of the LCAP meetings and listen in on presentations from Mrs. Norby, which were fabulous. And the schools are just really doing well, and their plans are really in place. I also had the opportunity to sit in on the internship program with Mr. Morris, and I was not there to get a job.
I asked her there. I said,
That's what
are you
he
interested in going back to
implied.
teaching?
But I did want to hear what the program was all about, and it looks like we have quite a bit of interest from our staff, and it just seems like a really good idea. Interestingly enough, on the one of the world news programs, several days later, they were talking about this exact same program on the East Coast. And how important it was for them to do something like this. They interviewed a janitor who was moving into, he was going to go to school and get this credential. So I thought, you know, we're right there at the forefront. So been very, very busy month. And then I was gone for the last meeting because my son got married. So,
Congratulations again.
that's it.
Mr. Padella?
Sure. Well, with the how would the lessening or the restrict the I can't find the
Lifting
word.
of the.
Lifting of the COVID restrictions. Yeah. I've had a chance to see the schools really getting back to normal, right? So I was able to visit La Paloma Elementary this week, and also had a chance to volunteer with the Land Conservancy during one of the field trips. We had the second graders visit Los Higueros Preserve. It was a great opportunity to see just kids out and about, out and enjoying nature, really being able to be part of that as well. And in the evening, I was able to be part of the Loteria and Libros event at Mayales Elementary, where again, we got a chance to see parents come back to school, enjoying the school and being that on campus and with their parents or with their students. And also, you know, being able to attend the book fair as well. And just really good to see all that happening. I'm aware that Fallbrook Allier is coming up this weekend as well.
Right.
To commemorate Cesar Chavez service learning. So a lot of good things happening. Really glad to see things getting back into the swing of things. Yeah.
Exciting.
Sleeper. Yes. Thank you very much. I was able to attend for the first time Legislative Action Week. So fun. I can imagine it would be very fun in person, but
Next
you are
year.
efficient
Next year.
when you're doing it online. Because, just meeting, done. And we had only very small groups. Mrs. Levis and I attended one together. And so we met with Mrs. Boner Horvath, who is an assembly person, Mrs. Waldron, Senator Brian Jones, and Patricia Bates. So it was a very interesting group. What's amazing is that we had kind of a pre-designed CSBA ask. And our 4 issues were increasing the base, providing full funding for busing, and taking care, well, we have this fabulous surplus of our PERS and STIRS concerns. And what was the 4th one?
ADA
Yes,
versus enrollment funding.
and stabilizing that for 1 more year. So we are held harmless. And what I was so impressed with is they are very compassionate people. They get education. They want a good, really good education. And they were very understanding of our needs. In fact, they could, at the end of the meeting, they'd rattle it off. Okay, you want this and this and this, you got it. Thank you for your time. They're really focused on listening to us. So I just was very impressed with that opportunity and how these 4 people in our Senate and our Assembly really get education, public education, and the importance of it. And then the second thing is I went to La Paloma, and what a great school that is, and what a great program they have. They have a brochure, which I just want to hold up because I was so impressed with their handout. So when a parent shows up, they get this little trifold brochure, which just really explains, look at all these great people that are right there to help their students, not just the teachers, but all of this. So I was really impressed with the tour. So thank you for that. That's the end of my report.
Thank you. Yeah, I was only able to attend the meeting with Senator Brian Jones, and Mrs. Lieber did a great job of organizing all of us on the meeting. We had a very brief amount of time to figure out who was going to say what, and she got us all organized. It was great. And we learned that Senator Jones used to drive a school bus.
Right,
So now
part
all of
time.
us are, all of the districts that were on there are trying to recruit him.
Yeah.
The driver shortage.
Yeah.
I was able to participate in several of the 2nd grade field trips to Los Higueros, which we're going to hear more about, and the La Paloma visit, which was wonderful. I attended as many of the LCAP meetings as I could get to, bouncing between the ones on the same night. And that was really great to hear directly from the parents about the things that their students came home raving about: the luminary arts, the project-based learning, the STEM labs. They mentioned some of our STEM lab teachers by name. And then also to hear their request for additional programs, which we've already talked about and we know are coming soon. And I had to bite my tongue to not say, we're going to do it. So I managed my exuberance. But it's nice to know that we're going to be able to meet some of those requests that they're making. I was also able to go to the May Ellis Loteria and Libros, which when I was on PTA there 2 years ago, we planned this event. And then the shutdown happened, and it was so gratifying to see all the families. And Gloria Rocha, the artist of our mural there, was there to meet everyone in person. And Mr. Fidel had information about the mural, which when you learn about what all the symbols mean, it becomes so much more special. So that was a great event. And then last week, I attended the meeting for the trustee review committee of our SELPA, which is the North Coastal Consortium for Special Education. And it's interesting because they only meet once a year, and a lot of the people are new because it's, new board members coming on. A lot of the meeting is just explaining what it is and what they provide. So that was kind of a repeat from last year, but they did give some updates on changes that are coming. And one thing is they said that we should expect to have a special education addendum to the LCAP. And they said, don't hold your breath. It's not going to happen anytime soon, but of course, we're already asking for input from our families who receive special ed services. So we're already doing that, and I'm sure our staff will have no trouble filling out another report. And that is my report.
Thank you. Well, I had the opportunity to visit 3 of our schools in the last 2 weeks, La Paloma with my board colleagues, and then Fallbrook STEM Academy and May Ellis Elementary. It is thrilling to see the exuberance of the kids in the classroom and the engagement that they have. Just really, we have such extraordinary teachers and staff and counselors and literacy coaches coming with all kinds of wonderful program ideas and integrating collaborative work with other teachers and other classes. It was really, really fun to see. But my favorite thing, I have to confess, was Mrs. Leibus invited me to participate in the outdoor education program with our second graders. And so here I am sitting on the dirt in a trail. And my job was going to be to do leaf rubbings. And when Mrs. Leibus told me that, I said, "Oh, how do you do that?" And she said, "Well, don't you know?" I said, "No." She said, "Well, you weren't paying attention in kindergarten." I said, "Well, I only went 2 days to kindergarten." Not a problem. But we had so much fun with leaf rubbings, which I've discovered is just like magic. It's a blend of art and science. And so I had numerous groups, but my favorite group was I had about 6 little kids surrounding me in a semicircle, and we're doing our leaf rubbings. And this little girl to my left screeches and says, "There's a spider on me." So I look over and it's this tiny little spider on her leg, right? So I got rid of the spider and she looked at me and said, "You're my hero." So easy, right?
If it were that
Second
easy,
grade.
how lovely.
Second grade.
So, I really had a chance to see all the ways in which our students learn and all the ways in which they engage with the outside world. And it was really a great 2 weeks. So I thanks to the staff at the schools, principals and assistant principals who took me around and gave me an opportunity to meet with staff. And it's very exciting to be part of this. So, and with that, I would like to turn this over to our superintendent.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Gosh, it's so delightful to listen to all the fun experiences that we're all having in our schools. I'll share one thing. I went to go that same morning. I went out to the trail to meet the second graders, and I actually was apparently in the wrong place. And I actually took a selfie. I was wearing kind of more of like a work thing, but some flat shoes, and I'm walking down the trail and everyone's stopping me thinking, "You're in the wrong place." Because I was wearing, like a suit jacket, but flats, and I was walking and I said, "Do you see any little kids around here anywhere? Where are our students?" And then I had my name badge on. So someone said, "Oh no, I know what you mean, but it's not here." So I think I had parked in the wrong exit. So I'm going to make it or in the wrong entrance. I parked in the wrong entrance. So I can't wait to get back out there. And I have a picture of myself on a trail alone. So anyway, but what was stunning about it though, too, is that I had never been there before. And in all these years, and I thought this could have been the best place to be walking at lunch all this time. And what a beautiful resource in our community. And Mrs. Leibus, your work on the Land Conservancy is so appreciated. I appreciated. So thank you for being a part of that. And you're going to get to hear more about that from our incredible team here in just a minute. The other thing I've had the chance to do, I'll just share, is I've had a chance to go out and do a couple of reading aloud to kindergartners at Mary Fay and May Ellis, which is delightful. And career weeks are starting. So I'll be going out to do career days at a few of our schools. This week is La Paloma, and I think Live Oak next week. And those are just delightful to talk to our students about my career. They don't really know what that is too much until we just explain how my actual career trajectory to do that, and my path to go through college, which I always love to share with kids. So what a beautiful thing. We have so many beautiful and really exciting things happening in our school district, and we're really proud to be working with you, our governing board, and all the things that we're doing. So that's all I have. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
You bet.
Before I forget, because I should have said it during my comment, For our next board meeting on April the 18th, we will be coming back to in-person meetings, which is so very exciting. We will still stream live via Zoom. And if anyone wants to make public comments, you need to come in person to the district office. But we're really, really excited that things have loosened up enough that we can safely go back to in-person board meetings. And that meeting is on the 18th. Okay, moving next to what I've been looking forward to. One of the things I've been looking forward to, our outdoor education program. I see we have our two program coordinators and Mrs. Curcio. I guess I should turn this over to Superintendent.
Yeah, actually, Mrs. Norby is going to get us
Norby,
started with a
thank
nice
you.
introduction. We're excited. I'll mention that we're so proud of the work that Mrs. Norby and our curriculum and instruction team has done in our outdoor education program. We've been dreaming and talking about this for many years in the kinds of changes that we wanted to see happening for our students and really bringing really current and relevant learning to what they're doing. And we have such unique experiences available to children in our community, unlike any other in San Diego County. So we're excited and pleased to share the remarkable work with you that's been happening. So thank you, Mrs. Norby.
Thank you, Dr.
You
Singh.
bet.
Thank you, governing board, members of cabinet, all of our visitors and guests out in Zoom land. We're so excited about this presentation. As Dr. Singh said, it's been a long time planning. I just want to share a little bit that when I first came to the district 5 years ago, my predecessor, Eric Forseth, kind of left me with 3 charges. And he said, these are 3 things that are on the horizon that we're starting. And I'm so excited that you're going to get to be a part of them. And this was one of them. And, you know, one of the first things I did was met with Scott, and we talked about all that he and Amy had already begun to do on it and what our goals were for the next couple of years. And we accomplished some of those the first year and then a little bit the second year. And then of course, COVID came and everything has been on hold. But, you know, through all of that, there are some silver linings. And because I think COVID actually gave us a nice break point to come back and start fresh. So go ahead. Who has my controls? Thank you. One more back. Thanks. So sometimes the stars just align. And that's been this year with this program. As I said, we had kind of started the work and we built some trust amongst the stakeholders and the people that were working on it. And we had some visions and some goals. But this year, everything was just there. As I said, we had that cold, hard stop and then we come back. So it's easy to make change when you're coming back. We had a teacher who was open-minded and ready to make some shifts and some changes. We had 2 TOSAs who had been working with our next generation science standards, had been working with PBL and had been working really closely with Scott up to this point. And then we had our innovation lab teachers back on site so they could help with that programming and with the support at the school site. And then we had a principal of special projects. Everybody knows you have to have a champion. You have to have somebody who's leading the charge. And I wasn't so good at that for 4 years because there were lots of things that we were charging after. But Amy, Mrs. Pleat has just done a remarkable job of just organizing everything and getting everyone on the same page. So, and then of course we had money. So, you know, for things like this. So all the stars have just aligned and it has allowed us to do some really remarkable work. I think you're going to be very proud of what we've accomplished. I know the team is going to share with you a 3-year plan that they put together, but I'm just going to tell you because they probably won't. That 3-year plan has been elongated because we had a 3-year plan when we first met and we accomplished most of it like in the first 6 months. So we said, well, we need to kind of put something on year 2 and 3, but, and they've done a great job with that. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Curcio and to the team because although I had something to do with the first couple of meetings, they really have done all of the hard work. So
we're very excited to be here today. And we started a committee in June with a goal of creating environmental literacy for all. And this was just a little piece of our charge where we looked at history, social science, and GSS, really trying to bring a real world experience to our students. And so we looked at the California Blueprint for Environmental Literacy, and we started a committee in June with all of the people sitting here and a few more that we'll acknowledge, just to begin working and planning on how we could make this experience happen. And our goal always is explore, learn, and dream, but it is also to build experiences and lessons and instruction for our students that are transdisciplinary. That's like the top. If you look at this elevation, that's the top. It's the goal. And with our outdoor education, with our environmental literacy, we were really able to do that, to shape learning experiences that are across disciplines and have students apply their knowledge and have these projects and hands-on experiences. So we developed a 3-year plan, as Julie talked about, and as a team. And you can see all that we accomplished so far in year 1 and how we built out to year 2 and 3. And one of our huge accomplishments was reorganizing Duluth so that our 6th graders could have an experience out there that was tied across the discipline, and then allow for our 7th and 8th graders to have that experience, and then back up and look at our K through 2 and what we could do to create something like that for them. And so this is now the 3-year plan from this point moving forward. And I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Pleat, because really without someone to have the passion to take the committee's work forward and this plan, we really wouldn't be here quite today without this setup.
Thank you, Dr. Curcio.
Mrs. Pleat, could I just, for those of you who haven't found it, this slide presentation is tucked underneath your computer. Okay, just want to make sure that you saw that. I didn't meant to tell you that at the beginning. Sorry, Ms. Pleat.
Oh, no problem. Well-run programs, they don't happen by chance. It takes a team of really dedicated people. And this year, with the extra support provided, the joy of running a successful program was shared. And I want to take a little bit of time right now just to recognize those who really helped us this year. Child nutrition services, daily meals. Transportation, they work with Mr. Gordon and the site secretaries to provide transportation to and from the school site to Duluth, Los Higueros, Montserrat. The original task force that met with us over the summer and supported our 3-year plan with the goal of environmental literacy for all. Budget and purchasing were huge. I can think back to the partners in the LCAP input sessions that we had, and outdoor education always came up. Duluth always came up. Kids, parents, the students. I mean, I think what's really, and we experience it all the time being at Duluth so much, but Duluth holds this nostalgic place for people because they went there as kids themselves and students themselves, and now they're getting to experience it through their own children's eyes, and it's just very delightful to see. I'd also like to take this moment to compliment my Secretary of Special Programs, Araceli Archuleta Cazares. The amount of purchasing and ordering that goes into running not only Duluth, but Los Higueros and Montserrat. She's taken on that as part of her job this year, and she's done a fantastic job with it. So I wanted to definitely shine a light on her. Change requires a high level of support and trust and consistency and expertise. And Maria and Stephanie provided that above and beyond any expectations I had. So they should be commended for all of their hard work. And all of this rested on Mr. Lynn. So, you know, he trusted the process. He trusted the people. He shared his expertise, and through his eyes and hearts, he showed us why Duluth is so special. Without his willingness and open-mindedness to embrace the change, the team would not have been so successful. So I really want to give him a lot of credit for that, because he had his handlers coming in and working with them, and he had me here, and he really did just a fantastic job.
I get to do the fun part.
That's right. Really.
All right, so for year 1, in-town schools and Mary Faith Pendleton, in kinder, they did a micro hike. So that was just becoming aware of the nature at their school site, what they can see there. Both first and kinder did planter boxes. Their challenge was to keep their planter box looking nice all year round. So that meant if they needed to change out plants with the season, so be it. Or some of them got smart and planted succulents. First grade was going to have a walk before or after their library, but due to COVID, library was still virtual this year. So that will be coming in year 2. Second grade, Los Higueros, which is great. That was just trying to get them to be aware of nature around them with some focused activities and then a walk. Third grade, 4th, 5th, and 6th all went to Duluth, and they have different focus areas. So third is Lucenio, 4th grade is Gold Rush, 5th grade is Matter to Organisms, and 6th grade is Water and Survival. And we base it off of The Hatchet, which is part of the new Study Sync program. It's one of the novels that they read in the first quarter. In addition, 4th and 4th grade work with Save Our Forest to plant seeds. 5th grade, they work with both Fallbrook Land Conservancy and Save Our Forest to plant those seedlings now in much needed areas that for the Land Conservancy sees fit. In the past, they've done it in Los Higueros, so it was really nice for the students that went there to say, oh yeah, I know this is what my brothers and sisters or cousins did. And then this year they actually planted at Montserrat Mountain. 7th and 8th grade from Potter, we had volunteering from Avid and Advanced STEAM, and the kids did a great job. We mixed it with a combination of work and fun. So it wasn't too much of anything, but they had a good overview and positive feedback.
Since San Onofre School is quite a distance away from Fallbrook, we worked with their Innovation Lab teacher, Brittany Rudolph, to find connections within their own community. And Brittany Rudolph did a fabulous job with that. The kindergarten first graders continued with their local projects of planter boxes and micro hikes, but we were able to use the game warden to come in and do assemblies. And in first grade, they study about sound, especially animal communication. So they did quail collars with the game warden, which was a lot of fun. Second grade, because they're very close, they can see the beach from their school. They will be going on a field trip down to the beach, and their focus matches their science with preventing beach erosion. And they're going to have a lifeguard that's going to talk about the erosion and see what kind of erosion has occurred at their beach. And a tremendous amount has occurred there within the last 20 years. Third grade had the opportunity to go to on a cruise with the Ocean Institute to look at marine mammals and focus on animal adaptations. Fourth grade's also going back to the beach, but their focus in fourth grade is on analyzing the beach erosion that is there and determining what's fast, what's slow, what are for erosion, and what contributes to that. Fifth grade, they're fortunate enough that Scott Gordon comes up and does some in-class activities that are from the Duluth program, but he takes them to a local park, Casper Wilderness Park. And so they get a very similar experience there. Sixth grade goes to McTissa. McTissa is Marine Corps Tactical Systems Support Activity, in case you're wondering. And they did a lot of STEM activities with them. One of the activities they did was water testing, which is part of the sixth grade program that we do at Duluth, and it's also part of their science curriculum. And then their follow-up was creating water filters, which again is something that they do at Duluth. So they did more in their own community. Seventh and eighth grade is going to be part of year 2. So we'll be working on that shortly.
And then we didn't want our activities to be standalone activities, like they just go out there for the day. So 2nd through 6th grade, Maria and I created pre and post work. So they had pre-work that would prepare them for their day or days, depending on what grade they were in. And then post work, some follow-up or some closure activities so that they could have an ender to that day or days. And then we talked about the planter challenge. And then we always had the innovation lab teacher provide support to the classroom teacher in doing the pre and post work and with the planter challenge. Also, we also know that the innovation lab teachers helped out with the micro hikes. So it's just nice that the classroom teacher has someone to support them in something that might be unfamiliar to them. And then we sent out a Google form to teachers and asked them to share it with their students and chaperones that went on these outdoor ed experiences. And so we got a bunch of students that sent us really nice things. And so on the right-hand side, those are like the most popular words that popped up. And then we just picked 3 to share with you. So you can read those for yourself. But mine that sticks with me all the time are roses are red, violets are blue. Duluth is cool, just like you.
So cute.
And then here are just 3 from teacher and chaperones. And it just, basically talking about how nice it was to get to see their kids in nature and how much the kids appreciated being in nature and still learning.
So as they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So here are some, a quick sampling of pictures from kindergarten through 8th grade in our district. And we have the K1 planters and micro hikes. Kids loved getting their hands dirty. And they did learn a lot by maintaining their planters because they're not used to this. That's a new skill for them. And just taking the time to look carefully at nature. 2nd grade, Los Higueros is brand new this year. Lots of wonderful activities to learn how to appreciate nature and learning the respect also of nature.
And 3rd grade is a Native American Day, as we mentioned before, and they grind acorns. This year we tried something new, making cordage, which was a very interesting activity. They take a hike. We made clay this year too, which was just fascinating. And they do pictographs. 4th grade is our Gold Rush Day. It's one day. And just learn about that super important event in our state's history. They make miniature shelters, as you can see there. They identify minerals, and we hopefully head down to the creek to look for gold.
4th grade also does Save Our Forest, and this is some of the activities they have in class.
And in 5th grade, it's a 2-day program. They take a very extensive hike on the property. There's a beautiful view from the top of the hill there. We dissect owl pellets. We ID local macroinvertebrates. Head down to the creek to find them if there's water in the creek.
And in 5th grade this year, they went to do planting at Montserrat Mountain.
And first year for our 6th grade survival program, 2 days. First day, we really focus on water. They look at macroinvertebrates in these leaf packs. The 2nd day, learn about knots and creating shelters, making the cordage, and we actually teach them how to sew. Imagine that. And with the 7th and 8th graders, I had no idea what to expect. 30 junior high kids, but boy, was I ever impressed. Just great attitudes. They moved tons of dirt, built trails, created the creek for our 4th grade program. So hopefully every year we can have them come back and continue to do their projects.
So wait, there's more. So we'll continue with our plan in year 2. We've met most of our goals already, but we're kind of in the reflect and revise stage. So what Maria and Stephanie mentioned it, we're constantly getting feedback from teachers, student chaperones of ways that we can improve our work. We'd like to do some branding, have a website and a logo for our environmental ed. And then we want to continue to expand our community and career connections, tap into our local resources.
And then our partners for In-Town and Mary Fay Pendleton are Fallbrook Land Conservancy and Save Our Forest. And then we worked with Brett McBrayer, who is a 7th grader at Potter. And so there's interest in creating a bus ride pre-videos that kind of ties to the focus of each grade that goes to Duluth so that they can learn a little bit about, as they're driving out to Duluth, what might pertain to that day. So Mr. Favela shared some ranchero history. So Brett made the 4th grade one that we sent out to our 4th grade teachers, and the students are going to watch it before they go out, and they'll learn a little bit about the rancheros and the history before they go. So when they actually get on the bus to go, oh, I remember that in the video. This is where that is. And so we met with Diana Cadell, who's a Luceño, and she wrote one for 3rd grade. So that's our next venture, is getting a student from Potter to make that 3rd grade video. And then we'll continue that until all grades are made for Duluth.
And for my end, I know Diana's been out numerous times to Duluth just to loves it out there, shares different things that she knows, her knowledge. And there's, if you've ever been to Duluth, there's just so many people down there that are willing to fill in any kind of void that you have. So it's kind of hard to mention names, but anytime anything's needed, the community out there is willing to support. And I want to just thank Maria and Stephanie. Again, I get to do the fun part, and they've done all the hard work to make this program what it is this year. So, and everybody else who's there today too, I really appreciate it.
You make the magic happen.
That's why I say the fun part.
That's the magical part. So at San Onofre, they partnered with people and organizations on Camp Pendleton, McTissa, the game warden, and the lifeguards.
And then these are some of our special acknowledgements just along the way. We have some committee members and community partners. And then we'd like to thank you, Governing Board, for recognizing the place that this beloved program holds in our community. And without your support, we wouldn't have been able to expand it the way that we have the vision to. So we really thank you for that. And do you have any questions for us?
Okay, I'm just such a proud mom right now.
What a joy to be in school. This is such an expanded program. Thank you for building it. And Ms. Bella, thank you. I know you had mentioned that idea. I didn't, and Dr. Singh, thanks for turning that idea into a video. I mean, it's amazing. All these little pieces came together. Beautiful
Well,
program.
people don't realize how much work
That's right.
goes into, and everybody wants kids to take more field trips and go outside
Yes.
more and to have something that's going to be an effective learning experience. You can't just let them free. You have to plan it, and just doing, one grade level across the district, one short field trip takes 2.5 weeks of getting the kids out there. And that's not even counting all the planning time that you all put into it. So it's nice to see all of you together and realize how many minds went into planning all of this, and I'm sure countless hours. So thank you so much for all your work on this.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Awesome team.
Thank you.
Awesome team. And Dr.
And-
Curcio, thank you.
As Mrs. Hollis saying, we couldn't do a lot of the things we do without the volunteers and the parents. Because it does take a village to run such a fantastic program.
It's so true.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Just a few. It's a great presentation, Dr.
Fabulous.
Such an impressive team. Now we move to business services, and Mrs. Martin, I understand you'll be talking to us about 2020, 2021 audit report.
Good evening. Nice to see everyone in person. I actually do not have a presentation for this, but I appreciate the interest that some of you have expressed with some of the questions, which I will follow up with the answers to those that were asked. But we are required to present this in a public meeting and allow the public to ask any questions if there were any. But my understanding is there weren't any questions. So all I can share is that it was good news. We had no audit findings, and that's really a good anytime, but it's exceptional and speaks of the work of the people, because given COVID, the restrictions, all the additional funding, all the requirements, all the plans we had to write, all those things, and to not have any findings is something that I'm very proud of. And it just speaks, I can't say enough. The report itself says how hard people work, and these are all additional tasks. When you talk about COVID, the additional funding and to be able to support these programs. So it's a long report, but what take away from it is that we had no audit findings, and that's truly remarkable given all the additional funds and requirements.
It's a very clean audit. I went through it, and I know I'm going to have to go through it again, because I thought I had parts of it, and then I go to the next part and I go, wait a minute, how does it all fit in? Because there's so much that's happened in this period of time. And I think this fiscal year is going to be very much like that. Things are moving very quickly, and there's a lot of money and different pots of money. And really kudos to you and your department for all the work that you do to keep everything moving well. And I know However, your department works very closely with that to make sure that it all comes out. So congratulations.
Yeah.
We have an action item, approval for out-of-state travel. Do I have a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
Thank you, Mrs. Lieber. Do I have a second? Mr. Favela, Mrs. Lieber. Oh, any questions or comments? Okay, we're ready for a vote. Mrs. Lieber.
Aye.
Mrs. Libis.
Aye.
Mr. Favela.
Aye.
Mrs. Lopez.
Aye.
And I am aye as well. That is approved. Okay, moving next to human resources. Will this be something, Mr. Morris, you will be talking to us about? Nope. Okay, well, we have our materials. The first is an action item. And this is, we had at our last board meeting, an information item where we looked at the job description for our new Director of Expanded Learning program. And now it's up to us to approve that job description. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
A second.
Thank you. Any comments or questions?
I think it's really exciting to see what's coming, seeing this develop. I think that's contributed to my loss of words. I've really been trying to take this in and really grasp, what's the benefits that are going to come to our district. Seeing this position here, and so much more that's going on. So
It's extraordinary to think about the fact that we're getting not just partial funding this year, but 3 years of subsequent funding. I mean, this is, I would guess, unheard of.
And across the state, this is a priority for the governor. So you're seeing lots of this work being done in districts across California. So we're just excited to be a part of it also. There's a big learning community of people coming together and thinking about the best, most effective ways to spend these resources. But we really appreciate our board support in the hiring and the creation of a new position, because this is one of those things. It's like what you were just mentioning. Really effective and amazing things don't happen on their own. You need talented people. And as you know, we have Mrs. Perez on our consent agenda to move to our new Director of Expanded Learning. And so it's an exciting time, as we said last time, and managing our exuberance is really the biggest challenge at this point. So, but we're really excited about it. So thank you.
Thank you for moving as fast as you have. on this. With that, let's take a vote. Mrs. Libis. Aye. Mrs. Lieber.
Aye.
And Mr. Favela.
Aye.
Mrs. Lopez.
Aye.
As well. So that action passes unanimously. The second is also an action item, and it is, the proposal is to increase to management salary schedules for associate superintendent and assistant superintendents. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
A second.
Okay. Any comments, questions? No? Okay, we're ready for a vote. Oh, go
I do
ahead.
want to say thank you for all of the back and forth.
You're welcome.
You, it's not
You're
like we
welcome.
didn't ask any questions.
You're right. Lots of them. And we, and
Over-asked.
lots, no, never. No, our job is to make sure you have all the information necessary. I appreciate the time each of you spent on the phone with me talking about this and the opportunity I had to answer questions for you. I'm really confident and very much recommend this. We take action to provide the COLA to both salary schedules, as we did for the rest of the district. And then in turn, the subsequent action to amend the contracts in the next item. So thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me about it. And if there's any additional questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Mrs. Lieber, I'm glad you raised that, because what is maybe not so obvious is that to the general public, because you wouldn't see this, but the board gets the materials for the agenda in advance of our meeting. And what our job is at that point is to dig down into all of the materials and all of the issues. And then I want to thank the superintendent. You were always so available for us when we have questions about items. And there are a number of times when we will have a lot of questions and we will keep coming back and forth. And we don't discuss it between ourselves because that's not allowed. That would be a Brown Act violation. But what we do is really look to the staff for your expertise. And so if we maybe have different points of view, we float those out and you give us the rationale for your position. And so I really want to thank the staff for this because I know it takes a lot of your time. My colleagues, I acknowledge you spend a lot of time as well. And so when we have, for example, an item like this, it's not as though we're very flippantly saying, oh, okay, let's increase the salary for these positions. We really have dug down into this and understand the importance of doing this. Our classified employees, our certificated employees have all received 5% COLAs this year. And this is a recognition that there is a need to help individuals with cost of living because it has gotten very much more expensive for some of the basics. And so our cabinet, our associate superintendents and assistant superintendents are so important in our leadership structure. And so we want to make sure that they are being treated as fairly as our other employees are. So just wanted to say that, and I'm glad you raised that because it's not always apparent, and it really is part of our role and our job. Make sure we delve down into this, and the district staff is such a critical part of it. So thank you. With that, I think we're ready for a vote. Mr. Favela.
Aye.
Mrs. Lopez.
Aye.
Mrs. Lieber.
Aye.
Mrs. Libus.
Aye.
And I vote aye as well. Thank you. Our next item is cabinet contract amendments. It's recommended that the governing board approve amendments to contracts of employment for the associate superintendent and assistant superintendents. Do I have a motion to approve?
Sorry.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you. Okay. Any comments or questions? Mrs. Lieber, would you like to start the vote?
Reading them out.
Reading
Reading out. We were going to read out.
I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? I don't have, do you have the readout? Do we have a readout for Mrs. Lundin? At the guidance of our attorney, we have posted the salary amounts as in the addendum themselves. And our attorney has advised us that that is sufficient to meet the requirement of an oral report. If we had any questions about it, all the addendums are attached to the agenda. And I think we're in good shape there.
Okay, because if not, I have the material. In
Yep,
my
you're great.
binder, but
I think we're in good shape.
It was all on the.
Yep, and it's all been attached and posted on our website. I mean, on the board agenda, pardon me.
Great, okay. So let's see, we have the motion made, right?
Calling
No,
for the
no,
vote. I'm sorry.
That's all good. It's all good. I want to be sure, and that's helpful to
Perfect.
point out that it is available. A vote, Mrs. Lieber.
Aye.
Mrs. Libus. Aye. Mr. Favela.
Aye.
Mrs. Lopez.
Aye.
And I vote aye as well. That motion is passed. And that moves us to the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any comments, questions?
Congratulations to
Mrs. Perez, thank you. Yes,
Thrilled. We all have been recently at her school site.
that's right.
So we all had the wonderful experience of seeing her as a principal, and we know what a fabulous principal she is. So now that we know she's leaving to this new field, it was lovely getting to see her in action as a principal for the last time.
That's right. And she'll do it.
Very
And
happy for her.
congratulations to Mrs. Perez. We're so thrilled for her. Thank you so much. That's right.
And I wanted to say thank you again to the Fallbrook LAR committee for soliciting these beautiful donations and our community organizations, Angel Society and Rotary, for supporting that event. It's really wonderful support.
That'll be wonderful this weekend. Mhm.
It's such a great program. I looked at the video that I had recorded for last year. And as I explained to Dr. Curcio, I said, it took me so long to do this video to get it just right. Could we use that one again?
Could we just do it again?
Did you do that? Yes. It was a really good video, but it was not easy. You can hear the dog barking in the background.
I'm just so happy I pulled it off once.
I can't wait till we can go back in the classroom and actually do it
Exactly.
live.
I know.
I can do that.
Do it face to face. That's true.
I didn't have Mr. Trench with me to.
That's
guide
right.
me through the technology.
To make us look better.
That's right, that's right.
That's right.
Well, let's see, are we ready for a vote? Yes, I think so. Okay, Mr. Favela,
Aye.
Mrs. Lopez.
Aye.
Mrs. Lieber.
Aye.
Mrs. Davis. Aye. And I vote aye as well. Consent agenda passes. That takes us through the formal part of our agenda. Do we have any items for future meeting discussion?
I do have a concern, and that is, could we just take a look and make sure that the hourly wage people, I love some of the things that you're doing to solve some of these gas issues, but I just kind of like to have a pulse of how it's going, because these are critical. We're really in an inflationary time right now, and I just worry about the part-time wage. I just want to make sure we have paid attention to them properly. But what you're doing to get people to that gas allowance and those were just brilliant ideas. And
Also that one of the other issues that I think is really important to also remember is the wage increase for our summer work.
Yes.
That's a really important, anyone who's doing work in the summer will have being paid at the top step for that particular job that they're doing, regardless of their experience and where they are in the salary schedule. That actually is a very innovative, not very common thing. Similar to, as you'll recall, when we were at the beginning of the pandemic, when we had doubled the pay of our folks who had been so instrumental in that very scary time to be working in our schools. So Mrs. Lieber, I think you can feel confident that this is always top of mind for us. The well-being and support of our employees is really at the heart of everything that we do. And we're very, very proud of that. And we're going to continue to always look for ways to be supportive of our employees. And I appreciate your heartfelt question in that regard. So thank you.
Terrific. With that, it is 6:55 and our board meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.